Toxicologists warn, cancer risk from arsenic in foods. Toxicologists are warning people of the cancer risk associated with consuming foods that contain arsenic. Arsenic is a naturally occurring toxic element that can contaminate drinking water and food, especially in areas with high levels of arsenic in the soil. Foods like rice cereals, nuts, and leafy vegetables can contain arsenic, making it a significant concern for public health. According to two new studies from the U.S. Society for Risk Analysis, researchers have evaluated the health risks associated with exposure to these metals from common foods. The first study is a qualitative assessment of the risks of consuming arsenic, lead, and cadmium from common foods like rice cereals, nuts, and leafy vegetables. The second study is a quantitative assessment of the risk of cancer from inorganic arsenic exposure. Results from these studies have important implications for food safety regulations and public health. Understanding arsenic in foods. Arsenic is a naturally occurring element that is present in soil, water, and air. It can also be found in some foods, particularly rice, wheat, and leafy greens. Arsenic is a known carcinogen, meaning it has the potential to cause cancer in humans. Toxicologists have warned that long-term exposure to arsenic in foods can increase the risk of developing several types of cancer, including skin, bladder, lung, kidney, and liver cancers. Sources of arsenic in diet. Arsenic can enter the food chain through natural and human-made sources. Natural sources of arsenic include rocks and soil, which can contaminate crops grown in these areas. Human-made sources of arsenic include the use of arsenic-containing pesticides and fertilizers in agriculture, as well as the use of arsenic in industrial processes. In addition to these sources, some types of seafood, such as shellfish and seaweed, can also contain arsenic. This is because they absorb arsenic from the water they live in. Types of arsenic found in foods. There are two main types of arsenic found in foods: inorganic and organic arsenic. Inorganic arsenic is the more toxic of the two and is the type that is most commonly found in foods. It is also the type that is most likely to cause cancer. Organic arsenic, on the other hand, is less toxic and is found in some types of seafood, such as fish and shellfish. It is also found in some types of seaweed. To reduce the risk of exposure to arsenic, it is recommended to consume a varied diet that includes a variety of fruits, vegetables, grains, and proteins. Additionally, it is important to rinse rice thoroughly before cooking and to cook it in excess water to help reduce the amount of arsenic present. Health implications. Arsenic is a toxic metal that can be found in food and drinking water. The presence of arsenic in food has been linked to an increased risk of cancer and other health problems. In this section, we will explore the health implications of arsenic exposure, cancer risks associated with arsenic. According to a report by Newsweek, toxicologists have warned that exposure to arsenic in food can increase the risk of cancer. Arsenic is a known carcinogen, which means it has the potential to cause cancer in humans. The International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, has classified arsenic as a Group 1 carcinogen, which means it is a known human carcinogen. Arsenic exposure has been linked to several types of cancer, including lung, bladder, and skin cancer. The risk of cancer increases with higher levels of arsenic exposure. Long-term exposure to arsenic in drinking water has been associated with an increased risk of skin cancer, while exposure to arsenic in food has been linked to an increased risk of lung and bladder cancer. Other health effects of arsenic exposure. In addition to cancer, exposure to arsenic can also cause other health problems. Arsenic exposure has been linked to skin lesions, cardiovascular disease, and respiratory problems. Long-term exposure to arsenic can also lead to neurological problems, such as peripheral neuropathy. According to a fact sheet by the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, means the most common source of arsenic exposure in humans is contaminated drinking water. However, exposure to arsenic in food is also a concern. Arsenic can be found in a variety of foods, including rice, apple juice, and seafood. To reduce the risk of arsenic exposure, it is recommended to eat a varied diet and drink water from a safe source. The NIONS also recommends washing fruits and vegetables thoroughly and avoiding foods that are known to be high in arsenic, such as rice products.